Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be doing an almost full face of your favorite products of 2023. I asked you guys on Instagram to tell me what is your #1 favorite product that you have tried so far this year. And it didn't have to be released this year. It's just like your discovery of 2023. I tried to keep it mostly to products that I haven't tried before, haven't tried in a while, or are relatively new to keep it interesting. Obviously, I've already filmed it and I can give you a couple spoilers. #1, we didn't agree on all of these. And #2, I found a new potential holy grail product, which I'm really excited about. I filmed one of these a couple of years ago, and that's how I found the Neutrogena Radiant Concealer, which to this day is one of my all-time favorite products. So we may have just done the same thing with one of the products in this video. So stay tuned if you want to find out. And thank you guys so much for being here, and let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, the first one is a new product by Flower Beauty. This is the Skin Smoothie Primer. I got the HydroPop Primer, and it claims that it's a lightweight gel texture, the cooling blend of aloe and cucumber extract. The water-based gel formula helps to grip the makeup with a natural looking finish. So I'm sort of expecting that this is going to be like the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer just by the sound of it, but we will see. I want to say this was pretty pricey. Okay, it comes out looking just like the Hydro Grip. I'm gonna put this, smells just like cucumbers. I'm gonna put this all over. Ooh, it does feel really cooling and really nice. It smells very strongly of cucumbers, but not in a bad way, like in a really fresh way. It smells like a cucumber martini, kind of. It is drying down to kind of like a tacky finish. Good for gripping onto the base product. So, I mean, first impression of this, I think it's really nice. I feel like if the e.l.f. gripping primer or the Milk Makeup one is too sticky and intense for you and you want something a little bit more hydrating, this is like the perfect balance between hydrating and still tacky. Before I go with my complexion product, I'm gonna go in with something that was one of the responses and a product that I've been testing kind of behind the scenes anyway and really enjoying. And I've heard mixed reviews on it, but I personally really like it. And it's the Pacifica Dreamlit Glow, what is this called? An Under Eye Brightener. So this is not a concealer, this is an under eye brightener. And the way that I have been using this is when I go to the gym and I have nothing on, like nothing on. I'm dressed. When I have no makeup on whatsoever, and I don't want to put a concealer on because it looks bizarre to me to have no makeup and then just a little bit of under eye concealer. But I want my under eyes, especially after like a night of bad sleep, if my son was up all night, whatever. I need a little bit of help with the dark circles. This literally just looks like an under eye moisturizer on the skin. It does not look like makeup, and it really helps to brighten the dark circles. So do you see how this is like just kind of a glowy, it looks like I have a glowy, hydrating eye cream on. But look at the difference between this side and how this kind of reflects the light and really helps counteract the darkness under my eyes. I really, really like this product. They just launched a range of concealers to kind of go along with this same line. I think they're called the Dreamlit Glow Concealers. So this product has made me really want to try those. The difference is very, very subtle, but it does enough to be like, okay, I feel a little bit better about walking out the door. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the other side, and it doesn't feel like a concealer. It feels like an eye cream, and you can layer it. Like if you want a little bit more brightness, you can keep kind of going over it, and it's still not gonna look like you're wearing makeup. And you can put this on the high points of your cheeks if you want, almost like a highlighter, because it is very beautiful and reflective. I feel like I just look more alive than I did 30 seconds ago. Okay, next up is a product that was mentioned, probably the most common face product, like complexion product in the responses. And it surprised me because it's not a new product. I haven't talked about it that recently, and it's from a more obscure drugstore brand found at Target. So it was just a surprising choice, and it's one of my favorite products. I've talked about it many times in favorites videos, so I chose it to be featured. And it is the Pixi H2O Skin Tint. I also thought it would go really nicely with this Flower Beauty primer because they're both water-based formulas. I have mine in the shade Tan because this is one of my summer favorites. And you can apply this however you like. I take a pretty decent amount because it is a skin tint, not a foundation. And I just kind of mix it in my hands and then go right in and apply it like I would like a moisturizer almost. It's so lightweight, and I know this color looks really dark for me, but just trust the process. And then bring it down my neck. I am self-tanned, which is why I need to go a little bit darker. And it's just this super natural second skin feeling type of product. That's perfect for like hot days where you don't want to feel like you have layers of product on your skin. So totally agree with this one. All right, this next one, again, I've been playing with behind the scenes and I am not sure how I feel about it. I tried it at the same time I tried a new sunscreen and I did not like how it looked, but it might have been the sunscreen that I was wearing underneath. So we're gonna give it another shot because apparently many of you love it. And it's the Physicians Formula Butter Glow Concealer. I also chose this because I haven't shown it yet on my channel and it's a newer product. I got this in the shade Light Medium and it's a very thin, almost water-like consistency. Bring it just to the center of my face. So I never had issues with it on my face. It was more under my eyes that it made them look very, very dry. But again, it could have been how it reacted with the SPF I was testing at the same time. Which is why I hadn't put it in like a faves or fails because I want to give it a fair shot. So this is that fair shot. And this is not to say it's a bad product because clearly someone out there really loves it. If it's their favorite purchase of the entire year. It just shows how makeup is so different for everyone and we all have different preferences. And I personally have dry under eyes and the person that loved it may not have. So I'm just gonna blend this out with the brush and then maybe try warming it up with my fingers as well. I do like how thin in consistency this is and easy to blend. Okay, I'm getting the same type of issue this time. I don't know if you can see my under eyes right there. That look, it just makes them look very, very dry. And then when I put powder on top, it's just bad news bears. So let's see if I put a tiny bit more and just try and sink it into my skin with my finger versus a brush. If I can get that kind of dry look to go away. No, I feel like it's really clinging to my dry patches under my eyes. But if you don't have dry under eyes, I can see how this might be a good formula. But if you do, unfortunately, this really, really highlights it on me. So the only one I don't totally agree with so far, again, it's all personal preference. Okay, the sun has just completely disappeared and it looks like it's about to downpour, so let me go get my light. I went ahead and did my brows off camera. I just used my e.l.f. Wow Brow and my NYX brow pencil, did them nice and natural. Still not loving how this concealer looks under my eyes, and we will see how it looks when I set it with a powder. I'm just gonna use a very small amount of my Wet n Wild translucent powder. I can usually rely on this one and see if it kind of takes away. No, I feel like it's just getting worse. This is the same issue I had with it the first couple of times I tried it. I still think you guys give the best recommendations and I really do think this is like a skin type thing and that's not a bad product. It's just my skin type. Having these pesky, dry under eyes is not fun, but I do think it makes me a good judge of concealer, so that's the pro of it, but I don't know if you guys can see just how dry that looks. All right, next up is a product that I've never tried before, and it's the Neutrogena Multi-Use Stick. You're supposed to be able to use this on your lips, cheeks, and your eyes. It's non-comedogenic, it's fragrance-free, and it has hyaluronic acid for hydrating, and it says it provides a flattering color in a universal shade. That's interesting. And this is the shade Temptation. So it's just like a twist-up stick. Looks very balmy and hydrating. I'm gonna try and just on one side, pick it up from my hand and then apply and see if that gives me enough pigment. No, I feel like I need a little bit more, but the thing is, it's like, you know when you open a brand new product like this and there's like a divot in the middle? I just don't wanna have to push too hard on my foundation and ruin it. So I'm just gonna pick it up from the tube. Okay, that worked. It's really pretty, really hydrating. It's very balmy and it feels very hydrating. I don't think you're gonna need any sort of a highlighter because this just gives that really nice glow to your cheeks. This feels like a throw in your purse type of product. I don't know that it's gonna be the most long lasting. I really, really like how it went on. Very, very pretty. It reminds me of kind of like the Merit blushes that are very hydrating. All right, next up for eyeshadow. A lot of people were saying their favorite purchase has been one of these ColourPop eyeshadow palettes now at Target. I think that now that ColourPop is in stores in Target, in a store you're kind of going in anyway, a lot more people are picking it up. So you guys know in my last video I was wearing the blush palette, which I think is my favorite one from the collection. But when I first showed you all the different palettes, this was one of the ones I showed, and I made a promise that I would do or attempt to do a green eyeshadow look, and that's what we're gonna do today. I'm very nervous about it. But if green isn't your thing, it's not really usually my thing. I'm just taking this light color right here and going all over my lid. There are a ton of neutral options as well. Like I said, so far my favorite is that blush one. As far as the tones of green go, this one and this one are kind of what I'm feeling. So I'm gonna go with Good For You. I'm gonna try it on a brush first. If that doesn't work, I'll just use my finger. It's definitely more subtle on the brush. As far as green eyeshadow goes, I don't hate the fact that it's more subtle. This is actually a really pretty shade of green. I am gonna use my finger a little bit just to build up the color. It's almost like a little bit of a khaki green. It's very wearable. Bring it up to the crease. I don't want to do a bunch of different colors, but I don't want it to look too like Christmassy. Like a true green, and this is almost like a red blush. All right, I'm just gonna blend out the edges. I think to take away from just how green it looks, I'm gonna use a little bit of this. It's like a cooler toned green in the middle, almost as like a highlight. This is a little bit more of like a silver green. Yeah, I like that color. I like that tone a lot. All right, I think I'm gonna leave it there and just add a wing. Definitely a cool palette, still like the blush one better. All right, the next product is this new mascara from Flower Beauty. This is the Dream Warrior Mascara. Now I've tried this a couple of times, and the first thing I'll say is it wears very well on me. It lasts a really long time without smudging or flaking. Granted, I haven't worn it in the middle of summer, but for just like a regular 70-degree day, this stays on me really well, which I can't say about all mascaras. This really is a very impressive mascara. It lasts a really long time. I feel like it builds length and volume really well. I like how small the wand is because you can really get in there without it getting clumpy easily at all. The only thing is I feel like you can only build it up to a point. Unlike the Milani, Anti-Gravity, or the Max Stack, where it's just kind of like the world is your oyster and you can build it 100 layers if you want and just get more and more drama. I feel like this one has a cap, but for me, when it comes to mascara, unless it's gonna replace Anti-Gravity, it's giving me more volume and length and drama, or if it's like a new tubing mascara that is gonna get you through a 90-degree day without smudging, I will enjoy it and I will like it and I'll tell you about it, but I'm not going to lose my mind over it. All right, I'm gonna try and build it up now that the side's a little bit more dry, and see if you just need to wait for the layers to dry to continue going. Okay, that built up nicely actually once I gave it more time to dry. So let's give this side a little bit more time to dry. Okay, that actually looks really good. So the trick with this one, if you're trying to build it, unlike Milani where you just keep going and going and going, you want to build it, stop, move to the other eye, build it, stop, and then go back once the other one's dry. So unlike most mascaras where once they dry they get crunchy and you can't layer on top of it, this one actually is the opposite. It works better to layer once it's dry. Holy smokes. Okay, we just cracked the code with this mascara. Now I understand. Wait for the layer to dry and then build, and wow. Okay, we just did a 180 live. This is fantastic. All right, look at that. All right, we are thriving. This is a yes. This is 100% yes. Okay, and then last but not least is this CoverGirl Yummy Gloss. I finally got my hands on this and I wanna see if I like it as much as I like the NYX Fat Oil. And I'm just using the Essence lip pencil in the shade My Choice. This is the Pillow Talk dupe. Okay, so many people said this, so we're gonna see how this compares to the NYX Fat Oil. Also has a bigger doe foot applicator than I was anticipating. The doe foot has kind of like a pointed tip to it. Let's put this on. Ooh, this is beautiful. Ooh, this does feel really, really nice. 1000% understand the hype with this. There's zero stickiness. Feels very similar to the Dior one. Feels super luxury. I still think I prefer the NYX one to this one because of the smell. Maybe it's just this one, but it smells very, very strong and like tutti fruity type of strong. It's not like a nice scent, at least for me. I don't like fruity smells very much, but the formula is really good. So if you're not sensitive to smells, this is a really excellent product to try. I can definitely see why people love it. The smell is kind of a deal breaker. All right, and that's gonna be it for this video. A lot of really good products here. Thank you guys so much for the responses. Even if I don't necessarily agree and the product doesn't work for me, that doesn't mean it's a bad product. It just means it didn't work for me, and that's why I like doing these things. It just shows that makeup is so personal, and we all have different skin and different experiences with products. But hopefully you saw something in here that you're excited to try. Let me know in the comments which product has been your #1 favorite pick of 2023 so far, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one.